Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to begin my comments about Bill C-3 today by first recognizing the great work done by Quebecers to shift the conversation about immigration in our country into a more positive direction. Je veux féliciter les...
I'd like to congratulate Quebec nationalists. For a number of years, Quebecers have not been afraid to speak out about immigration and integration. More must be done to improve our immigration system, so thank you for your courage.
One of the Quebecers I'd like to acknowledge is a great young man from the beautiful city of Montreal, Mr. Anthony Koch, who took to the pages of the National Post this summer to identify his concerns about an issue that is holding Canada back from having a common sense conversation about immigration policy. I'd like to read some of the words from Mr. Koch for the benefit of those in the House. Mr. Koch wrote, "The fact that my grandparents were immigrants does not mean I must support mass immigration forever. It does not mean I must stand aside while my country becomes unrecognizable. It does not mean I must endorse the strain on schools, hospitals, housing markets, and communities that unsustainable immigration levels bring in the name of some imaginary moral debt I never incurred. I owe nothing to the people who use my heritage as a weapon." I want to thank Mr. Koch for his words, and I would like to point out, Mr. Speaker, that his point that the heritage of the descendants of immigrants is often used by Liberals as a weapon to wedge us and corner us and make us feel as though we have to agree with their immigration policies. It is immoral, and it is important to note that it is observable in the debates about Bill C-3 in this House, formerly known as Bill C-71. Mr. Speaker, you may know I like to do my homework, and so I combed through the transcripts of the debates on Bill C-3, and I found numerous examples of Liberal MPs and NDP MPs making reference to their heritage as immigrants or the descendant of immigrants as if that necessitates a certain perspective on Bill C-3, as if it necessitates a certain position on this legislation. Some examples could come from the MP for Vancouver-Granville, the MP for Kingston, the MP for Spadina Harbourfront, the MP for Vancouver East, all of whom made reference in this House to their own family heritage, their own immigration history in their family, as if that is relevant to their position on Bill C-3. I think that is a textbook example, Mr. Speaker, of what Mr. Koch writes about, of the tendency of Liberals to weaponize one's heritage against themselves, and I would go so far as to say a textbook example of Liberal racism, which has run amok here in Ottawa. Now, Mr. Speaker, I would like to explain this further, and I will go by sharing my own family history to provide some contrast. My father came to this country from Kenya. You could make a movie about my father's life. Born an orphan in Nairobi, a black African man, very proud of his heritage. He was adopted by an Ismaili family and reorphaned as a teenager, had to teach himself how to be a man. Came to this country and worked in hotel restaurants and kitchens. Hard work and hard labor that took a toll on his body, which you can see in him today. And I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, that my father did not do all that hard work so that one day some smug Liberals in Ottawa could tell his son he's got to support Liberal immigration policies and the cheapening of Canadian citizenship. My grandfather came to this country from Scotland after World War II, broke, empty pockets, had not a dollar to his name, got a good union job working as a school custodian at the Toronto District School Board. And when everyone else went home for the evening, he was still there working, mopping the floors and cleaning the classrooms so that children had a nice place to learn the next day. And I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, he did not mop those floors and clean those classrooms so that one day some smug Liberals in Ottawa could tell his son or grandson that he's got to support Liberal immigration policies and the cheapening of Canadian citizenship. My grandma came to this country from Ireland after World War II decimated her neighborhood in Belfast. Came here and met my grandpa, and together they raised 4 children. She helped raise grandbabies. She attended church every Sunday. She loved this country and she loved Jesus Christ. And she did not do all that work raising children so that one day some smug liberals in Ottawa could tell her grandbaby that he's got to support liberal immigration policies and the cheapening of Canadian citizenship. My point, Mr. Speaker, is that my family came here to be part of this country. They came here to be free people. And to be free people means we get to have different points of view than liberals on important issues, including immigration and citizenship. We are free to say what we believe is best for the future of this country as equal Canadians. And the idea that our heritage would be used against us to push us around and make us feel like we've got to endorse their broken policies that have led to the public trust and confidence in the immigration system being the lowest it has ever been in my lifetime. That's wild. We reject the weaponization of our heritage. We reject liberal racism. They can kick rocks with that. I don't want to hear it. It's a new day. It's a new day, Mr. Speaker, a new day in the House of Commons, a new day in this country where people from all diverse religious and cultural backgrounds can stand with confidence and say, we reject liberal immigration policies. We do not agree with them. We do not agree with what they have done to this system. And we are building a diverse and beautiful movement. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, in my home community of Bowmanville, Oshawa North, people from all religious and cultural backgrounds coming together, unifying in opposition to what the liberals have done to immigration in this country. People who grew up speaking English at home, people who learned English much later on in life, building bridges and talking to each other about what's gone wrong with immigration policy in this country. And they will pay lip service, the liberals will, and pretend that they're making changes. And yet, we see what's happening in this House right now with Bill C-3, the doubling down on the very irresponsible and unsustainable approach to immigration that has gotten us to this point. It is a serious problem, and they make light of it. They think they can tell you because you're the descendant of an immigrant, you got to line up behind them. No, not happening. Not happening. My grandparents and my father did not work this hard so we could be pushed around by these guys. And it's not going to happen anymore. So the point I would like to reiterate, Mr. Speaker, is that we have very serious problems in the immigration system. And if the liberals want to assure the public that they should have trust and confidence that this liberal government can fix them, then doubling down on the same direction is the wrong way to go. Putting forward legislation where the government cannot even assure the Canadian people how many individuals will be entering our country as a result of it is them doubling down on the very same broken approach. Putting forward legislation where they cannot tell us how many new people are coming into our country, despite the overcrowded hospitals, despite not having enough houses and enough jobs, despite traffic in the GTA getting worse and worse every day. And we're supposed to sit back and accept that the very same people who broke the system want to continue going in the wrong direction, but we're not supposed to say anything about it because we're the descendant of immigrants? No, no, no. Unacceptable. So, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I would like to acknowledge the good work done by Conservative members of the Immigration Committee here in Ottawa to present some common sense amendments to try to salvage and instill some sensibility into a piece of legislation that is horribly flawed and that reflects once again that the Liberals have learned nothing from the fact that public trust and confidence in our immigration system is at the lowest it's been in my lifetime. Thank you.
Questions and comments? Question.